Hello, my friends. Hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I am really in an interesting spot in my life right now today. Everything feels so exciting and so great, and for my own benefit, like I'm getting so much good music written, and I have so many amazing students right now, and I love it so much. And two different things can be true at the same time. I'm overwhelmed and feeling like a lot of, I've put too much on myself. I've said yes to too many awesome things, which is a great problem to have. I don't know if you ever felt like that, in your creative life or your regular life. But let me know what you think about that, what you did to rebalance yourself, because I'm feeling a little out of balance right now. But like in the best way, right? Like I'm doing so many amazing things. I have so many exciting projects and prospects and all that, but like not enough time or energy to do it all. And I'm finding my nervous system is telling me, right? Like, and the ways that it tells me are just the ways that it tells me when I'm singing, and how I work with you guys to notice these things, right? So I have a lot of like digestive issues that come up when I'm more nervous. I have facial tics. I've told some of you about that. Like that's a big indicator that things are a little too harsh in my nervous system. I've been doing too much. Amazing. Thanks for being here, Sam and Steph. Nice to see you both. Yeah, it's just wonderful to have so many exciting things going on. And like that might be how you feel too. Like you're so excited about singing and doing more with your voice, and maybe writing songs, some of you, becoming the level up version of the singer you are. And sometimes our nervous system like says no, like you haven't built up the capacity for that yet. So as much as we want to, we hold back, right? Because our nervous system, if it's working correctly, is like, hey, take a pause before you jump into this possibly overwhelming situation, right? Just like happens in the microcosm of a song, when you are singing, you're doing great, and then all of a sudden the chorus comes and there's bigger, higher notes, and all of a sudden your nervous system's like, hey, take a pause. Are you sure you have the capacity for that? Now, sometimes it's wrong. A lot of the times it's wrong, because you often do have the capacity for that. You just haven't practiced how to get into that, acknowledging what you can do. And so your nervous system is working on the idea of a past capacity, which it's always doing. That's its job, is working on a past capacity of what it has direct experience with. It's never, it doesn't really have your growth in mind, because it doesn't know what that looks like. Your nervous system is just a machine that's like, hey, this thing has been a problem or too much for you in the past, so maybe you should not dip your toe into that again because of what's happened in the past. Let me show you all the memories, all the responses in your body of what happened last time you took that risk, right? Yes, this is helpful sometimes, helpful in most other areas of our life except for art, right? Because if your nervous system is showing you what it knows to be dangerous, then usually that thing is dangerous, right? Say you, as a kid, you got stung by a bee, and your nervous system's automatically like, hey, guess what? Bees are bad. Bees are dangerous. So you're going to stay away from bees. You're going to freeze up when a bee comes near you, like we all do. And we have to keep in mind that that is not always the truth of the situation, right? Like 9 times out of 10, when a bee comes near you, you're not going to get stung, especially now that you're not a kid and you know not to slap a bee, right? That's what happened to me when I was a kid. Like, it landed right here on my forehead and I smacked it, and I learned my lesson. Don't smack a bee, right? So this is what happens in our nervous system. It's always thinking about what I know to be true. Your nervous system as the I know this to be true. I know that this thing is a scary situation. I know that it hasn't worked out in the past. So I'm going to give you all of my effort into saying, hey, don't do that thing. Remember what happened last time. However, you get to be the one to make that decision, right? And what I'm dealing with right now is like, I have gotten so good at telling my gremlin to shut up that I take on too many things. I'm like, yeah, I can totally handle that, right? It used to be that I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. That sounds too scary. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to not. But now I've gone too far in the other direction. Sounds crazy to say, but I've gone too far, and I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen. Somebody brings me an idea. I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, let's write that song, right? Let's do 100 other things that I don't have time and space for, because I'm not going to listen to my gremlin. I'm not going to listen to my nervous system. It doesn't know what it's talking about when it comes to art. Sometimes it does. Overall, I mean, granted, my nervous system has been on edge about a lot of things for a long time. I've been a worry person my whole life. So it's been a lifelong journey with this thing, this lovely, beautiful mechanism inside of me. And so I have, a very interesting relationship with it, right? Like, I have a lot of reasons to listen to my nervous system when it says, hey, don't do that thing. It's very logical, right? It makes a lot of sense. Hey, that thing is dangerous. Remember what happened to you? Don't do that again, because you're just going to make the same mistake, and doing the same thing over again is the definition of insanity, right? And expecting different results. But when it comes to art and my own capacity with it, I'm almost operating on, like, I don't know if this feels like you, I'm almost operating on like a deficit. So I'm trying to make up for all those years that my gremlin was driving the bus, that it was like, hey, don't do that, that's too scary. And now I'm like, hey, gremlin, I see right through you. I know that all of the stuff you were telling me I wasn't ready for, I'm ready for, right? Like, I was holding myself back because I was too scared, or I was letting the fear drive me, right? However, I may have gone off the deep end, right? Because now I'm like, yeah, I want to do all the art things because I'm making up for the FOMO that I had back in the day. So let me know if this is you as well. But we still have a capacity, right? Our nervous system still has a capacity. And sometimes it conflicts with the desire that we have inside of us to do more things, to make more art, to press bigger and bigger buttons, right? So I've talked about my 100-day singing challenge, because I make my vocal magic students do that as well. And at the end of that 60 days or 100 days, whatever you want to do, you get really, really good at saying F it, right? At saying, you know what, I'm not perfect at this yet, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that is so good for those of us who stop ourselves from doing things because they're not perfect yet, right? Perfectionism is not a need to be perfect. Perfectionism is a handbrake, as one of my other mentors calls it, that stops us from doing a thing. And we just fight ourselves in the meantime, because we're trying to do the thing and we're trying to do it perfect, but it's not perfect yet, so we can't do it. And it's just like a standstill, right? So we're pressing the gas and putting the brake on at the same time. And that is not a fun place to be. So I just want you to be aware of, like, doing things at a pace and with a support system that is right for you. And you may not know what that is until you try new things, right? Like, most of us, most people that I encounter that come into my world are those of us that are perfectionists and have our handbrake on. We're like, can't do that. I am not ready, but I really want to, but I'm not ready, but I really want to, but I'm not ready. And so we're, on the outside, it looks like not doing a lot, right? You're just, coming to your voice lesson, not practicing in the middle, coming to your voice lesson, wondering why you're not doing better, getting frustrated with yourself is the vicious cycle, right? You know this. Raise your hand if this sounds familiar. And once you get enough practice at dealing with the gremlin and dealing with what your nervous system is telling you, you can choose to say, okay, look, yes, this feels a little scary. I'm sweating. I'm about to push this big scary red button, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then you get better and better at pushing this red button. Great. So good. Amazing, right? For those of us who have that handbrake on, we start to release that handbrake finally. And we say, yes, even though I am scared, even though it's not perfect, I am going to release this handbrake and allow myself to press this gas pedal. And then some of us, like myself, who are all or nothing people who are just friggin' doers to the end, as soon as that handbrake comes off, we're like, zoom, I'm gonna do all the things. And then we burn out. So this is another piece of the puzzle. Like, I'm not regulated, but I'm still acting like I'm regulated. Right? I end up in situations where I have let my desire drive the bus instead of what my capacity is. So I'm in conversations with my nervous system going, no, we're done with that conversation about holding ourselves back, right? Like we dealt with that, like, gremlin, F you. I say that all the time, right? We're used to this. And now we're having a different conversation. My nervous system's like, hey, look, I'm so proud of you for not listening to me all the time, because obviously art making is not a huge danger, right? You were right. Great. Good for you. But now I'm telling you, you're about to hit your capacity. And I'm like, capacity? What does that mean? Never heard the word in my life. And so we have to have a balance. Like everything in moderation, everything is a balance. It's not just, is your handbrake on or off? Sometimes the handbrake is necessary. So that's what I'm facing right now. Like, I've said yes to too many things. And I need to remind myself that I have a limit. And as many times as I have told myself, like, yes, I can do this scared. I can do this even when I'm feeling dysregulated. I also have to have a real conversation with myself and have a little discernment and say, look, yes, I can do this. Absolutely can. But do I want to do this at the price of my stability? I guess, for lack of a better word. Should I say yes to this in the next 2 weeks when I've already overwhelmed myself with my plans in the next 2 weeks? Or should I tell this person, no, let's do it a couple months from now? Is that okay? So keep that in mind for those of you that are on this path and getting farther along this path. I know some of you are. You're getting so good at noticing your nervous system when its red alert system comes up and you're like, look, this is just an old pattern. I don't need to do this. It's just singing. I'm going to have fun with it and be scared at the same time. I just want you to pay attention to when you, because if you're anything like me, you're like, okay, I'm so excited about this, right? Now that my handbrake is off, I'm going to freaking go 0 to 60, right? And no, as a complete sentence, I love this. Yeah, absolutely. And just notice, are you pushing that gas pedal too hard now, right? Now that you are best friends with your nervous system, are you taking your bestie on a Thelma and Louise journey? Are we driving ourselves off a cliff now that you're in the driver's seat instead of the nervous system, right? Instead of the gremlin. So I just want to share my experience. So yeah, be good to yourselves, please. Notice the things that show up as signs ahead of time and say, look, is this a real thing or is this a gremlin voice, right? I'm not saying you should listen to your gremlin voice, but I'm saying you should listen to your nervous system when it's telling you, hey, something's about to hit the fan, right? I know you're excited, and I know that you're not letting me drive the bus anymore, but like, can I add a little something here, right? You're approaching the other extreme. And this is what happens to people who get really good at their art, right? Really in super play mode, really comfortable there. These are the people who have been performing for 20 years and have zero stage fright on stage, right? And then they either take on too many gigs and burn out, they get up there and they say stupid things because they have no fear, they say yes to the wrong job just because it's another job because they have no problem with it, and then they end up getting treated badly or something because they weren't discerning the signs. This happens constantly in the music and theater world. So pay attention. Be nice to yourself. Don't overdo, especially when you get excited about this nervous system work and you're like, yeah, I got this. I'm not holding myself back anymore. F that, right? I'm a new person. Here we go. And then just take a couple moments, a couple times a week, and just be like, look, what's realistic here? I know that I have demonized that word in the past, right? Realistic. Our gremlin gets really involved with the word realistic, right? As soon as you get a good idea, it's like, that's not realistic. You better not do it, right? That's what happens to most of us. But here's the perspective from the other side of that fence. Sometimes we get too excited, and in super play, we're like, I'm just in fantasy land, right? There's no boundaries to what I can do. If I'm on stage, I can do all the things, right? And there is a limit to what I can do as a human. So just wanted to share that from my perspective today. Yeah, let me know if that resonates with you. If you are a person who, as soon as the handbrake comes off, you're like 100 miles an hour, and then you're like, oh, I remember why I didn't do this in the past, because now I burnt out and crashed. So yeah, I think that's a lot of us here. So thank you for being here with me on this journey. I never claimed to be perfectly healed and fixed and have it all figured out. Right? Acting like I'm regulated, but not actually regulated. Exactly, 100%. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. This is my normal, right? I'm doing 100 things. I can totally handle this. And I've done this very much so in the past, but in places I felt miserable, right? So it was much easier to see when I was doing too much because I didn't like it. But now that I'm doing things I like, I'm like, it can't be bad. It can't be wrong to be doing 100 things because I like them all. And my brain is sitting here going, good luck with that. You got about a couple more days of this shit, and then I'm gonna do something to throw you off. Yeah, I can't be 100% every day. So just a word of warning from the other side of this nervous system work. Can be good, everything, like everything. There's an ebb and flow. There's ups and downs. You've learned lessons on both guardrails, right? Both sides. So yeah, just wanted to say that I love you. I don't claim to have a magic wand, obviously. I may be a couple steps ahead of you in the singing on stage journey or the singing technique journey, but like, I'm still right here with you learning all these hard, stupid lessons. I don't like it either, but this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm learning. I love you all very much. Vocal Magic is open, still open. It's a membership now, so it's always open. So you're welcome to join us anytime you'd like. If you enjoy any of these lives that I do, and you want more of these nervous system talks, you can come back every Tuesday and I talk about different stuff. But if you want more of a structure and more of a community and more support around this work in your life and around your creativity, around your singing, that's the place for you. It's called Vocal Magic. It's a membership. It's a course plus a group program plus a community combined. That's where the magic is. It's not me. I'm not the magic. You're the magic. The community's the magic, the co-regulation, the friendship, the finding your singing besties is the magic. So, curious? You can go check out the thing in the thing. It will not be open. It will not be as obvious forever. I'm only going to do like a hard launch a couple times a year. So if you want to be reminded about this later, it might not happen. So just get in there now is my suggestion. It's incredibly affordable and incredibly flexible time-wise. So it's for you. I made it for you. Otherwise, there's a new version of the Every Note is Easy workshop that I did coming in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you missed that, stay tuned. It'll be back. I'm just revamping it. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Lots of love, and I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I'll see you very soon.